so we can get started.
Got it.
Cool. So I want to lay out some quick groundwork really quickly is that, so normally I do half an hour sessions, but I'm going to give you guys double the amount of time, included for free. And here's the intention is that, you know, when you go to a doctor, typically there's someone who's super skilled. And if they don't know the answer, they can go and get you the answer and figure it out much quicker. Yep. So if at any point on this call, and if I say, hey, I'll look into this a little deeper, and if we need clarity, I'll definitely do that for you guys just to make sure that we're all on point. And because I'll be honest, I'm not going to know every single thing. I don't claim to be an expert, but what I do know is that what I'm going to share, you guys are going to love, absolutely love. So I'm excited to get started. And I got both of your documents. I got Matthew and Tom's. Now, I've never done a 2-to-1 session like this. It's not a problem. I'll just go through some stuff based on from what I'm reading. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. I mean, let's just make sure that we know how many sessions we're getting, because there was a little bit of confusion as to how many sessions, because the plan was, I think, that we would get 3 sessions each. Is that, and what we were going to do is you would focus on one person for one session and the other person would kind of just listen in, as it were. So if you can deal with both, because there's going to be some areas of commonality.
Yeah.
But Tom, if you want this to be your session, then just shout, because
I don't have any preference, Matthew.
Okay.
I know we're working on our podcast and working on that. So
we can do a 4th session, Matt. If you guys feel like we could do 2 for 1, and then if you guys feel like, hey, we need like one more call just for some extra clarity, like I've got no problem giving you an extra call. Like, so you'll get 4 calls, and then you'll get double the information because you'll be on 3 sessions. And so this is kind of like a mastermind, which is you guys are getting the craziest deal I've ever. So is that fair? Is that fair? So if Tom or Matt, if you guys need like an extra 4th session, only if you feel you need it, then I'm more than happy to just gift that to you guys.
Great. So we got 3 sessions each. So is that 6 in total?
Well, we can do 3 sessions like this, and then a 4th one, like a single session bonus each. So it would be a total of 3 together and then 1 each if needed.
Okay. All right.
Is that fair?
I think so. Is that, Tom, is that what we sort of agreed from the outset?
Yeah. I was thinking it was 3 each, but I think as long as we reach our objectives here, I think everybody's fair. Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Right, let's go for it then. All right. Tempus fugit, as they say, as they said 2,000 years ago.
So here's what I'll start off with. I'll share my screen. Here's what I'm going to do as a bonus. So on Tom's, let's look at Tom's objectives. A complete written strategy and written instructions for Lisa and Via to implement. So I don't typically, like on my consulting sessions, I'm usually like, hey, here's what you need to do, go do it. But what I'll do for you guys is I'm just going to build you a custom video training, completely custom for you guys, of what I suggest. And I'll just gift it to you guys. Like usually, honestly, I charge a couple $1,000 if I ever would do this. But I'll just gift that to you, and it will save us probably 45 minutes or 2 sessions of me explaining everything you should do. Is that fair?
Brilliant. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll do a video tutorial. It'll be very simple. It'll probably be like, hey, here's a 5-minute tutorial on what you should do daily on LinkedIn, and this will help you. So yeah, anyway, I'll gift that to you guys, which is a massive gift, which takes off a huge section. So when I look at some of the similarities of these, one area that I'd love to start is I need to ask one question about the book. Who's publishing your guys' books? Are you guys going through a publisher, traditional, or are you guys like
self-publishing on my side?
Okay, Matt, what's yours?
Self-publishing.
Okay. Do you guys know how to do it? Do you guys are going to pay someone to do it? What's your? I need clarity on that.
I've paid someone to get mine published.
And so, no, I'm still at the beginning, so I'm still writing it. Haven't got to the point where I know what to do.
Okay. Well, here's what I would suggest. So I want to get clarity on the brands first, but I wanted to talk about this book because this is a big deal. So I wanted to lay out some strategy when the book is basically ready to go and ready to launch. So I went bestseller on my book.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's not the best thing. It's not like everyone's going crazy over it, but I want to show you guys a good strategy on how you can go bestseller, which is going to boost it for you. It's going to boost your authority. So here's what you need to do this is my suggestion, is get your book as written as you can. Matt, you could do, before your book's even completed, you could do a pre-order. So you could do this strategy as well, Tom. Mm-hmm. So you can go on Amazon, you can upload your book cover. That's all you really need. And then a brief description about what your book is on. Okay. When you go on Amazon, you click, my book is not done yet. However, I would like to do a 30-day pre-order. You can sell copies before it's even released, and you don't even have to have your book written, and you can sell and go bestseller before your book's even out there. That's how all the big names go massive. And that's why you see pre-orders for movies, books, and other products. Mm-hmm. This is completely free. You can do it yourself. It's very simple. And when you do this strategy, when you do the pre-order strategy, number one, it gives you 30 days of marketing. I want you guys to know this, is that you get a bonus of 30 days of marketing, because you can say, my book's coming out, my book's coming out, my book's coming out. Here's a chapter. You can do a live stream on it. You can, for 30 days, market so hard about your book that it's coming out, it's coming out, it's coming out. And the cool part is even before the pre-order stage, you can market that it's going out for pre-order. And most people don't capitalize on these tactics that I'm sharing. Is like, I marketed that I've got a book coming out, and I did that for a couple weeks, and I built the hype. That's step one. Step two, go on pre-order, and it can be there for 30 days on pre-order. That's an extra 30 days of marketing. And you can go bestseller in pre-order. And then when it's launched on pre-order, you have 30 days to upload your book to Amazon. If you don't upload it into Amazon, they'll basically ban you from pre-ordering for about a year and a half. So that's the only consequence. So if your book's like almost done, or you can get it done in the next 30 days, put it on pre-order and make it happen. So what I would suggest, here's how you go bestseller, is and this can be a Kindle version. I did a Kindle version before I did before the hardcover version. Is you upload your book. It's formatted for Kindle. It's in a Word document, basically uploaded to there. And you don't even need a hardcover or nothing. And what happens is you drop the price to 99 cents in all the countries. And when you're marketing, you must get a specific set of sales within an hour or 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And as long as your book has the most amount of sales in the specific hour in a specific category, you'll be number one best-selling author. And this gives you credit, Tom, whenever you're introduced, number one best-selling author of Smart Passive Investor, whatever the book is called. And Tom, Matt, for you, it's like, I'm the number one best-selling author on Amazon for Hooked on Startups. So
can you buy your own book?
Yeah. You can get, I don't know, honestly, you can have like all your family and friends and like your network. If you get all
them to buy it. Count in based on the research I did. I don't think you can buy it.
I don't know if you can buy like your own book, but like, yeah, you could create another Amazon account with your credit card, and yeah, you could do that version. But anyway, so that's how you go bestseller. You drop the book to 99 cents. You tell people it's only for 24 hours. Dropping my book for 99 cents. It's regular, $11.99 for Kindle and $20.99 paperback. And then give them a little bit of a bonus. So it could be like, when you order it for 99 cents, I'll gift you, a video or something like that, or I'll gift you this, or maybe there's a special link in there. Like, give them some incentive besides that it's just 99 cents. Yeah. And that's going to be awesome. So I would suggest aim for about 30 sales in an hour. So if you can lock in 30 family and friends in an hour to buy it all within an hour, that hour, as fast as they can at the same time, your book will surge. And then as you're promoting to your market, they'll go and buy it as well and stack upon all of that. And then you'll go bestseller. So that's basically how you go bestseller. It's pretty simple.
How many books did you, what was the title of your book?
Mine's Champion Mindset by Austin Sieben.
And how many did you sell in your first hour?
I think I sold like 400.
Okay.
I got promoted by someone, and then
So that's the sort of number of sales that we're looking at, sort of.
Well, if you just get 30 in an hour, you'll go bestseller. Like because here's how it works: is the algorithms update. on Amazon, like every 2 hours.
Yeah.
So if you have the most spike just for that hour, you're number one in the ranking because it updates so fast.
And did you get a screenshot of that? Does it say?
Yeah, I have a screenshot. Yeah. That's what I was, yeah.
So that's the point where that's your sort of marketing proof, as it were, where it says in that particular. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can take the privilege to write on your cover. So I've got two versions of my book cover. One of my book cover is a gold stamp that says Amazon #1 bestseller on it.
Yeah.
So I went bestseller in Canada, US, UK, Australia, like all over. So I'm an international. Yeah. It's just marketing. Like it's super smart. And so aim for 30 sales in an hour and you should pretty much get it. Here's the key though. So screenshot, they keep an eye on it. Mine took about 3 hours to like update and I was like stressing and I was like, oh yes, I got it. And I went #1 in multiple categories. So you can pick 2 categories, but here's the key I want you guys to know for this is you must niche down as specific as possible while staying relevant. What I mean by this is like, if you can find a subcategory that only has, let's just say 1,000 books in it, the likelihood of you getting #1 is going to be massively successful instead of just going real estate. Yeah. Well, if you go real estate, like there's 35,000 books, right? Yeah. So I suggest is you pick real estate, then see what the options under that is. And it might say start a capital. And then there might be some under that might say online real estate capital. And there might be like 300 books. Well, if you pick that, you'll boost. And then this gives you good cred. So that's my tips for that. So that's how you monetize your book. That gives you forever your #1 best-selling author. And that's, you're done.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to cover on that. And it allows you to get some flexibility too. So you can upload your book in Word.
So is this why I see lots of campaigns where people are basically giving books away, but they're paying for the shipping?
Yeah, that's more of a lead magnet. We can talk about that real briefly. The strategy behind that, all you do is you get a funnel and you get a free hardcover book or and what happens is that book might cost you, because when you publish your own book, self-publish, you can print a book for like $2 or $3 basically. And all they're doing is they're paying for you to be a lead. So they're zero. So what happens is the shipping might cost them $7. The book costs them $3. So it's like you pay $10 for shipping. Well, it's basically they're covering their own cost anyway. So what I would suggest is setting up a book funnel. It's not going to make you #1 bestseller. It's not going to create revenue. All it's going to do is get your book in more people's hands, which is a good long-term strategy. So if you ever, guys, if both of you are looking to do that, find someone who can just build you a free plus shipping funnel. That's what it's called. I wouldn't pay more than, I probably wouldn't pay more than like $2,500 to get all of it set up, because you can get it directly from Amazon. So you get the books. Everything's 100% automated. So people are going to your page, they're ordering the book. Amazon's basically shipping a free copy or the fulfiller. So So the meantime, when you guys are ready with your book, I'd suggest uploading it to all of your social media platforms, your link on Instagram, and drive as much traffic as possible and set a date of the launch. Pre-frame your audience as much as possible. So I hope that gave you guys a massive condensed version of all of my best tips for going bestseller, monetizing your book, re-leveraging it. So yeah, that's
fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, goes the value bomb.
And then I would go, I would even just do the Kindle version and go bestseller. And then you can make tweaks and re-upload the edited version too. So that's the cool part about going Kindle first before you do the paperback, is it allows you to upload your book a few months maybe earlier than you might have want to, or before it's done its final editing. And then you can make the updates. You just re-upload your document and then boom, everything's done. So for someone like Tom, he could do like a condensed version of his book, because on audiobooks, they have the bridged version and unabridged. Unabridged is like the original. So you could get some extra leverage and buy yourself some time and get some marketing ahead of time, so those are my best tips. So I hope that covers the book. Is there any questions around the book aspect?
I've also seen people selling copies of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich for nothing. Presumably that's where they bought copies of the book in bulk for like $2 each or something.
Yeah.
So it's a book funnel basically.
Yeah. I was thinking about that when I was walking back I was just at the pool. I was thinking about Tom specifically because I know he had spoken at the Robert Kiyosaki, what's it called again? The
Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
Yeah, the Rich Dad, Poor Dad event, right? So someone like Tom in his marketing, I would suggest like talking about Robert in his book and how you know him. And I would use at the beginning his positioning, bless you. I would use his positioning and like say, hey, like when you sign up, you get a free book of this and this. Leverage other people's books and products and giveaways so you don't have to create your own content. Like that's a massive hack that so many people, they have this ego that it has to be their own book and they're only going to give away their own content. When you give away authorities content, that's how you attract people because it's familiar to them. Because if you're giving away Robert Kiyosaki's book, they know about it and they're like, well, I want that. Who's Tom? And that's how you build familiarity with your brand versus, hey, I'm Austin Sieben, buy my book, Champion Mindset. It's like, hey, I'm Austin Sieben. When you sign up for my email, I'll give you this free copy, whatever it is. It's association. Yeah. So yeah, that's what people are doing on that aspect. The book, just know that the book is not going to make you a ton of money. It's an investment. That's a long-term strategy. When you have your book, like people don't make money off books. They make money off of the opportunities they get from having a book.
Yeah.
Okay? So go ahead, Matthew.
No, carry on.
I was just going to say that I would highly suggest always have copies of your book. And whenever you're at meetings with investors, networking events, anything like that, give people the book and take a photo with the book so that you can have it for your social media. And it's massive social proof. Because if I'm at an event holding Tom's book and Tom shouts me out, like tags me, Austin Sieben, checking out the power of habit, you can order it here. If you're doing that all over and you're getting your people to upload photos as well, besides you taking the photo, it's going to massively boost your social proof. I know one of my friends sold 30,000 books, which is like incredibly successful. And all that he did was he paid people that had big audiences to be taking photos of reading his book. So that's all he did. And that was most of his marketing. So you guys could do this for free by having friends, coworkers, networking events, going for coffees and just taking a photo of it. And even just giving away
to try to get a review of it at that time too, or is it a photo of just them in the book or
yeah, just a photo of like you and them with the book or just them, like Austin Sieben checking out a copy of my latest book or my first book, whatever it is. And then boom, now you're getting content, social proof, and it's just a fantastic strategy. So yeah. And so is that good for the book? That's like my best tips for just getting the book out there and monetizing it, getting your brand out there and positioning yourself. So those are.
I have a question about ghostwriting as well, because I mean, obviously writing a book is very time consuming. What I'm actually focusing on, which is again, a bit of a hack, is just putting together all the sort of topics and all the chapters and then getting someone else to ghostwrite it effectively, because then that gives me speed to market and I can go back and tweak it, but that gives me the bulk. Is that a practice is widely used?
Yeah, one sec. I'll show you something quickly. One sec. So what I would suggest is my friend here, in his book, I have it here just by chance that you asked this question. So this is my friend's book. I think he sold, I don't even know, honestly. I know he sold tens of thousands. All he did, Matt, this is what I would suggest for you. Very simple. Is each page is basically a blog post. And this is exactly what you're talking about. Living life on the edge, mini lessons. Look, every one basically is just, there's not even chapters. It's just all these blogs, right? So that's what I would suggest for. So yes, it is popular. It is simple. All you're doing is basically writing a 1-page blog post. And it's spaced so nicely and it's an easy to read book that people will get through it. If this one's only 87 pages, but he sold on his original, this is his original book. This is his book here. His second book, his original book, much thicker, sold 30,000 copies of this. So I'm assuming this one went crazy again. But
yeah.
I mean, first book was 162 pages. People, here's the biggest problem in the industry of online courses, because we're going to be talking about that. These are my best book hacks. I can't wait to give you my best course hacks. But when it comes to the books, the problem is, and courses, people don't go through all of your content. And this is proven through statistics and metrics of online software. So here's the problem. The problem is even if you're a world influencer, the likelihood of someone reading your book cover to cover is like, you know what I mean, to finish it. So you're going to serve someone much more by having a book like this that they're going to smash through and want more of, or like this where it's 187 and 87, versus having something so dense and trying to add so much value, people just won't get through it all. So your number one outcome as a content provider and an authority should be, how can I get people to get all the way through 100% of my content? Most videos online, and this is very important for both of you, most videos online are only viewed for 55 seconds, statistically proven over and over and over. So if you ever make a video, aim to make it 55 seconds, like leverage that statistic and tailor your content to be 55 seconds. Instagram, the maximum you can even upload is a minute. So that's a good kind of like tailor of being able to judge your content. People aren't watching 10, 15-minute videos, right? So even if you're like Tim Ferriss and high caliber, it's even Gary Vee, like people are not watching the full thing. So I just want you guys to know that it's better to get them through your content versus putting in so much effort. And it's upsetting to a lot of course creators because they put such amazing content and then they're frustrated and they're trying to motivate their people. And I was just talking to a guy, he's like, I'm trying to motivate my people that there's so much value and so many hours of content and they're not getting through it. So that's why the hacks for the course I'm going to share with you guys are going to help you get through that. And same with the book, honestly, you just get the people through. So, and that's going to, and Matt and Tom, that's going to reduce your, I guess, overload or overwhelm when it comes for writing a book, to just know that sometimes less detail is better. And sometimes it's about getting through the content. So I hope that was valuable for you guys.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just looking at, because I can cover so much in your LinkedIn questions. Tom, is there specific questions? I'm looking at your outline here. It looks like the social media was a big, I'm looking at it here. It looks like social media was like a big chunk of it.
Well, and and I guess for me, that the three things that would really be helpful, I think, would be the overall roadmap to get to the end objectives that we're looking for, a calendar that just tells us every day or every month or every week what we're scheduled to do, and then having it be measurable. To me, those are the three things. And if we can put that together, that would be my. So
here's my suggestion for creating a marketing calendar. It's very, very, very simple. Most people, and you're going to love this, because most people, they try to create content on each platform and they overload and overwhelm themselves. You can take one piece of content and you can turn it into like 16 pieces of content. And here's how you do it is, because you're writing a book, you could leverage that for content, and you can have someone on your team go through your book and take the best takeaways from your book, whether it's a sentence, whether it's a key thought, and you can leverage those as tweets on Twitter if you're on Twitter. So you can leverage those for tweets on Twitter. Then you take the tweet from Twitter and turn it into a quote card, a graphic of that tweet. Now you've got a piece of content for Instagram, and you can share that piece of Instagram content to Facebook. So you just took from your book that you've already written. You don't have to do anything. You just highlight what you want to turn into content. You take one sentence or it's tip, and you can turn it into a tweet or a status update on Facebook or a status update on LinkedIn. Then you take that copy, and then you can turn it into a graphic, and you have your logo and you have your name, Tom Braegelmann. And then that's one way to repurpose content simply. Is this helping? If I keep going down this path, is this helping?
Yep.
Cool. Here's a massive hack that will help you guys. This is crazy. This will save you so much time, energy, and effort. It's phenomenal. Here's my suggestion is you create a 5-minute video of you teaching something. Have the bullet points of what you're going to teach. Keep it very simple, clear, and quick. You take this 5-minute video and make sure there's good audio, good video, something like what I am now, where there's no distraction, not this mic specifically, but I can give you some suggestions later on if needed. But the key is this, guys. This is the point. The point is you get 3 tips that you want to share, or 3 bullet points, like 3 ways to grow your podcast, or 5 weird things that are helping my real estate business. You want to give them 3, 5, 4, 7 distinct things they're going to learn, but you want to keep the video under 5 minutes. Then here's where the magic happens. You take your 5-minute video that's like your awesome content. You don't need to do anything. The hardest part is bullet pointing what you want to say. And then you basically shoot the video. You've got this epic 5-minute video. You put this 5-minute video on YouTube. Then you take this 5-minute video and you take the best 1 minute, you trim it, you toss it on Instagram. Then from there, you can take that 5-minute video, send it to rev.com, rev.com. They'll transcribe it. Boom, 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 boom. Now you've got yourself a 5-minute written blog. You clean it up. Might take you 2-3 minutes to read through. You clean it up. And now you've got a blog post on top of the video, on top of the 1-minute snippet that you can toss to Instagram and Facebook. And here's where it gets cool is you take from that blog post some of the key thoughts, boom, turn it into quote cards and status updates for LinkedIn and Twitter. So if you shot a 5-minute video once per week, just once per week, you can turn that into 2 weeks worth of content. And you don't have to post them all at once. You can just create a data bank and you just cycle different things on different times. And that's how you create massive amounts of content without having to do any work. 5 minutes a week, and you can outsource most of it. Make sense?
And what's your level of involvement in that? So let's say that we produce a 5-minute video, hand it over to you. Are you able to slice it and dice it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do anything, really.
Okay. So, I mean, that's part of your sort of fast social service.
Yeah, it's I used to offer it for 4 months. We talked about it after the call when I'm not supporting you guys. But like I did it for 4 months, and massive help for people, 100% automated. They shoot a 5-minute video, 3 5-minute video, they're done. We create the thumbnail here's the cool part is you get the thumbnail created for the video. So now on YouTube, you've got a thumbnail for this epic video that looks clean and templated. So it's patternized. Then you take that thumbnail, you put it on Instagram and say, new video coming out in a couple of days, stay tuned. And you're leveraging that same thumbnail of like 5 weird ways I've grown my podcast. Later on every Thursday, boom, you put the minute and boom, you're sending traffic. So you're like, even if someone's hawking you and watching you like crazy, most people won't even understand that you're reproducing content because you're giving it to them in different plates and tastes that there's so much content out there that you're just repurposing like crazy. And they still think, wow, this guy's so smart and valuable. And that's how you do it.
Okay.
So here's what I want to leverage while we're talking about content. I like to go with the flow of what you guys write and what I'm talking about. Here's what you do for a podcast is I've never done this personally, but I know it's possible. So if you haven't launched your podcast yet, I would get like 10 episodes banked up. Once this timer gets close to ending, after this thought, we'll just reboot the meeting if that's okay. So what you do is you bank up 5 to 10 episodes of your podcast, get them ready to go, promote that you've got this podcast coming out, et cetera, et cetera. And then you upload them to iTunes, like as much as you can. So like do like 4 in a row for 1 week and then 4 in a row the next week. What this does is iTunes goes, holy crap, this person's loving our platform, producing a lot of content. And all of a sudden, if you're sending a ton of traffic, as much as you possibly can on all of your social media to this show, it's possible. I've had a ton of friends do it, be new and noteworthy, which is just like getting a bestseller on Amazon. Very cool. Very cool. Because then forever you can say my new and noteworthy show hooked on startups. Makes sense?
Yeah, I think you've got 8 weeks to do that. And I think I probably just missed the boat on that one. But Tom?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's just a good little hack. Here's where I was going with this is I hope I'm not going too fast. Just remember, guys, it's on record. So when you have a podcast, there's many different ways. I've ran Chris's podcast. I've got some of the biggest influencers on his show. And so I've been in behind the scenes and stuff. Here's how I repurpose his content is you get the person on the show, you get them on the show by saying, I'm going to share this out, and you give them some metrics. Like on average, I get X amount of views. If you want to make it sound better, you can stack it in the week. Say weekly, we get this amount of views. If you're just starting and if you're only getting, let's say 20 views an episode, you can say per month we get 500 downloads on our show, something like that, to leverage to your favor to help people get on. And you can say we shout out the episode on all of our social media and our email list of our total reach. And you want to add up all of your social media, your friends, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, even stuff you don't even use, but the main ones, of course. You add it up and say, look, Matt and Tom, I can get you guys on my podcast. I've got a reach of 120,000 people. I'll share it out and promote you. And I'll post you on my website as well as as a guest. And they're like, it's a no-brainer. It's like, I'll come on for half an hour or an hour, whatever it is. And so it's a no-brainer for them. And that's the value add. Here's the key that most people miss. In the middle of your show, I suggest a quick break. When, let's say your show is 40 minutes, let's just say. So for the first 30 minutes, you follow the questions of the show and the conversation. Then I suggest pausing and saying, hey, Matt, Tom, we're just going to take we've got a 20-second ad break or a 10-second ad break. And here's what you do. This is like a really cool thing I implemented for Chris was you take this time to stop the conversation and gain control as the host and say, okay, what are you currently promoting at the end of this episode? What is your offer? Do you have a new book coming out? Do you have a new campaign? What is it? And this helps you get control back of the entire show and say, all right, we're back, guys. And it gives you control and good positioning because you can just go, okay, cool. So Tom, tell me about your latest book. I know you've got this awesome book coming out. And they're like, oh my God, I get to promote my thing that's on my mind and it's fresh. And they feel so good as a guest and so taken care of. But here's the biggest value add that nobody sees is that you just have a 5 to 10 second little ad in your podcast that says, hey, you're listening to Hook on Startups. And we've got this webinar Wednesday, 5 p.m. Go to hookedonstartups.com. Check it out. Hope you're loving the show and see you at the end, right? That's like a quick little advertisement for you. That's just 5 seconds of whatever it is that you're promoting. Or check out our website, hookedonstartups.com/resources. And you're getting your own promotion and it gives you time to control the conversation at the very end of the episode. It's always awesome to network for 5 to 10 minutes and say, so like, what are you currently working on in your business? Like, what are your objectives in your business right now? What are you working towards? You'd be surprised how many deals you can close just because the rapport is so high and you've been shining the spotlight, letting them promote and shouting out their business. They're basically going to be so open to talk about anything that you can leverage and close deals on the spot and be like, hey, let's work together. Or I know a friend that can help you. That's one aspect. Okay. So leverage that. The second aspect is I will always ask, who do you know that would be a great fit? And I've asked some massive influencers and they've given me 2 to 3 people. And those 2 to 3 people, it's so sweet because now you've just cut the chase of looking for new leads of who to get on the show. And you've got a higher percentage because you say, hey, Matt, my really good friend, Tom, we worked together and had him on the show, suggested that you'd be a great fit. I would love to get you on. Our reach is 100,000 and it's 40 minutes, very simple. And boom, done. That's how you crush podcasts and you get referrals like crazy and you can close deals. And that's how you monetize a podcast besides your own advertisement and your branding and stuff. But that's how you monetize it.
Yeah. Well, no, fabulous. And you're absolutely right because I'm kind of loath to do other people's sponsors because I think that reduces the legitimacy of the podcast.
Exactly.
So I think if you can keep it all in-house and just drive traffic to your website and have the offers on your website, just listening to people like John Lee Dumas, it's just, there's a little bit of valuable content in there. But, most of it is listen to our sponsors and this and that, and it's just ads, which is no good.
So one of the main reasons why people love podcasts is because there's no commercials and because they're getting education. Okay. So if you're going to give them, if they're listening to you on every episode, they're going to want to hear what you suggest. So that's why I suggest a website that's like giftsfrommatt.com.
Yeah.
You drive to a specific landing page, like I've showed you before. And then whenever you're featured on any podcast, you send them to this link. Whenever you host a podcast, you're always sending traffic to this one domain that you can forward anywhere, anytime to any website that you're promoting, but it never changes. And this is going to give you exponential results. And so many people miss the boat because if I'm promoting fastsocial.com and I change business models to like consulting to Austin Sieben, all of that past promotion that I did for the last couple of years, it's broken links.
Yes.
So don't make that mistake.
Okay.
Big mistake. And something short and memorable, like everyone remembers giftsfromchris.com. I created giftsfromchris.com for him, and he's like, this is the best idea. Like, so those are the value tips that I could give for podcast and books. Usually I do an hour session on both of those, but I wanted to give you guys as much condensed as I could and fast so we can answer questions and stuff around those.
So just on the sort of podcast theme. So I've got a couple of, I've got one in particular, really chunky guest that's just accepted. So he used to be Branson's head of PR, and he used to be the chief exec of Virgin Galactic, which is the space attempt, Virgin's space attempt. So what I want to do is try and get as many people as possible. So would you preview that in the same way that you would preview a book? Would you say, like, next week I've got Will Whitehorn from Virgin Galactic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would 100%. I would, you always want to pre-frame them and say, so in your podcast marketing, I always would go, next episode, check out, Tom Braegelmann, and we talk about real estate and his success. So then all of a sudden you pre-frame them on like a Tuesday. Episodes come out on the Friday. They get the snippet and they have to go to iTunes to get the full show. Then you can say, basically near the end of the week, you can say our next episode coming in is so-and-so and so, here's who they are. And then basically then you're leveraging your content. So you're absolutely right. So you pre-frame who's coming in, and then once they're done, you can promote them again. And this is going to add value, and you're going to be able to create multiple pieces of content that's exciting and cool. I create 1 minute snippets for Chris's show. So he interviews the podcast and he takes the best 1 minute snippet, or just the first minute of introducing who the person is. Yeah. So it's like, I'm interviewing, it's like, hey, Richard Branson, welcome to the show. Richard is CEO of this. And it's like a good 1 minute of all his stats and facts kind of. And then it ends on Instagram and they have to go to his iTunes to listen to the full thing. Yeah. You always want to do like the key, like, title of the episode. Make sure that episodes are good, or else people won't click it. So you always want to put like the person's name real quick, and then the key takeaway that's going to catch their attention.
Okay.
So it's a good way to pre-frame your audience by saying, here's who's upcoming next. Do you have any questions for them, or whatever it is? Like, you can, once you have your audience, you can.
And what's the value of reviews? Is it important to have large numbers of reviews on your podcast page?
Well, it's like, it's like anything. So what I would suggest is getting your audience to review it, and anyone who does, you'll give them a free gift. You always want to give people incentives, because it's like, why do I want to go and review every book I buy? Why do I want to go and unless I love it? And if I really, 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 really love it, I'll go out of my way to like review a book. But if someone's like, review my